Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you. We'll see for how long. But I am here right now. Let me turn this on silent. I hope everybody's doing good. I knew that was going to happen as soon as I went. I knew it. Well, thank you everybody for checking out the show. If you're new to the show, welcome. And let's get it started. Lewis Talbert, good afternoon. First out the gate. Sierra Brooks. She says she's first on Facebook. Good afternoon, Sierra. Erica Hummins representing Reading. Good afternoon. Bonita Gaines representing Roselawn. Good afternoon, Bonita. And rounding out the top five, DeAndre Crosby. Good afternoon. Sierra says, what's up, everyone? But E-Man, who she's still beefing with. Why are we beefing? Why? I don't even understand it. Andrea Bustle, representing Gulf Manor. Good afternoon. Fame Rothstein says if I'm first, I'm about to wild out. I'm just a kid from Beavis. Okay. When you wasn't first, you don't have to wild out. Or anything else. Daryl say, what up, King of Talk and my evening experience chat family. Good afternoon. Jerica, better known to many as Jerika Van. Good afternoon. We got Wonder Woman, Jacqueline Carter in the house representing, she put Evanston, but I think black people around here call it Evingston. It's like Livingston, but different. So she's representing Evanston. Good afternoon. E-Man, you can use the word experience since you do the show in the evening now. Carolyn Smith, good afternoon. We got Regina Denson Griffin out there in Madisonville. Good afternoon, Regina. Samuel Campbell Jr. representing Oakley. Good afternoon. Big Bill. First time I've actually seen you with a nice shirt on. You a hater. That's what you are. You're a hater. And a racist. We learned yesterday that is racist. So, I don't know. But good afternoon, Big Bill's Price. T. Mikey G. representing North Avondale. Good afternoon. Carolyn Smith, she says, good afternoon, all. Well, good afternoon to you as well. Good afternoon. Steban Speed in the house representing Westwood. Good afternoon. We got Pamela Kinney in the house representing North Avondale. Good afternoon, Pamela. Good afternoon. Mike Ballard Sr. representing Woodlawn. Good afternoon, Mike. Good afternoon. Let me see. Batman in the house. Hey, from Westwood is Batman. Danny B. Dozier. I never actually did look into that, but I will one of these days. Daryl says, white people are in their feelings today. He been threatened twice on Facebook. Yeah, some of them are in their feelings. And they really shouldn't be. Of course, we all know why. But we'll talk about it just a little bit in a few minutes. Edward Bentley say, what up, E? What up, E? Black Lion says, what's good, everyone? And, he says hello to me. Yes, Sierra. That is the literal definition of being a racist. To criticize somebody's clothes. Dee Dee Williams, Covedale checking in. If you consider that a neighborhood, I don't know. If you consider it a neighborhood, then you represent it. We got Lamont Edwards in the house. Good afternoon, Lamont. Good afternoon. Lamont Edwards representing Madisonville. We got Madisonville in the house. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Lily Edwards. How old are you, Lily? How old are you? This is going to sound crazy, but Lily sounds like an old name to me. Lily sounds like a lady easily in her mid-60s. Easily. I could be wrong. That you don't have to be. I'm just asking. But good afternoon, Lily. Good afternoon. Dwayne Larkin's in the house representing Mount Airy. Good afternoon. And I don't know if I said Lily is from Westwood. She's representing Westwood. Good afternoon. Mary Birch Lavender. She says howdy, and she's representing White Oak. Thank you for checking out the show. Veronica Burdine out there in College Hill. She says a blessed evening to all. Oh, you can't beat that. A blessed evening to you as well. James Benta. He said, what up, King of Talk? What up, James? What up? Let me see. Will Jones. Ain't seen Will here in a minute. Says, hope everyone's been good. He's in the building. Hey, when you get celebrities and high-profile folk in the building, you got to act right. My mom used to don't be showing out because people here. So I can't be showing out. Phil Freeman. He's representing, where is your car located? Where's your car located? That's where you represent. You don't represent the car. You represent the area the car is in. Phil, thank you for checking out the show. Angels have descended upon us. Dina Johnson, representing Walnut Hills in the house. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dina. Jeffrey Williams. Good afternoon, Jeffrey Williams, representing Pleasant Run Farms. All right. And that's it for right now. So, okay, we all know today is 9/11. I know some of y'all call it 9/11. I call it 911. It was an emergency on that day. And my niece is in the house. I don't know why I had to say my so many times. My niece is in the house. Chelsea, she says, hey, everyone. Hey, Chelsea, thank you for checking us out. Lily responded, I'm 77. You know my son, Robert Davis. He passed in 2015. My husband, Pastor Craig Edwards, who also passed away. Yeah, I do know you. Yeah. Okay. And 77. Yeah. So I was right. I was right. Not that there's anything wrong with 77. That's a beautiful age. If I live to be 77, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. Turned into Johnny Gill. I decided to speak from my diaphragm for a few minutes. You know, I'm working on my voice and strengthening my diaphragm and all of that kind of stuff. Logic Slayer in the house. Good afternoon. He's representing Golf Manor. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thalia Cooks says East Coast here. Where on the East Coast? I'm sorry. Where at on the East Coast? Where? Samuel Campbell Jr. Why are they threatening HBCUs is the $1 million question. We all know most likely a white male did the act. Yeah, let's talk about that in a minute. Kim Moore Eberhardt. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. But yeah, no, Samuel brings up something that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit. But first, I just kind of wanted to say, you know, this is September 11th. It's the anniversary of that day. And so we remember. I'm going to tell you what I remember about that day. Just a few things. I remember being on my way to work, you know, really when everything went down. And I remember getting to work and, you know, Tom Joyner Morning Show was on the radio station at the time, and they were still doing bits. If you don't know what bits are, they're little comedy things. So, it took them a while to catch on, which, if people don't know, a lot of times when America goes through stuff, a lot of times in the black community, we might not initially respond with the same level or degree of alarm and or concern as some of our counterparts. There's something to the reason why, we don't, some of us, we don't connect as much to America, to her trials and tribulations and all of that kind of stuff, as some other people do. As we feel like we've been, and to some degree still are, victims of America. And it's hard sometimes to look at the person victimizing you and view them as a victim. So, 9/11 was going on, and I remember people were calling the radio station because we had switched and we were just running ABC News. But if y'all remember, I believe there was was that the day there was the mayoral primary? Curtis Fuller, I think, was it Lucan? Curtis Fuller and Charlie Lucan, not Tom Lucan, Charlie Lucan. So there was a mayoral primary, and people were calling the radio station like, hey, why are y'all running this stuff? We got a black man running for mayor. This is a distraction. They trying to distract us from voting. And I'm thinking, really, y'all really believe that they knocked down the World Trade Center towers to stop y'all from voting for Curtis Fuller? That's what y'all think, for real? But people were really serious about it. They couldn't care less about, well, maybe let me take that back. I'm sure they cared, just not as much as they did about that primary. And I remember trying to talk a little bit of sense, like, this is not a distraction from the Cincinnati mayoral primary. This is more than likely, this is not a distraction. And Curtis Fuller, I believe, won that primary. I remember when the first tower fell, which I don't remember, North Tower, South Tower, I don't remember all that. When the first one fell, I was the only person in the room watching the TV. And I saw it fall, and I was like, hey, did y'all see that tower just fell? But because upon looking at it just immediately, there was still a lot of smoke from where it fell, so people didn't believe that it fell. And I'm like, for real, it fell. And they're like, it didn't fall. And then, later on, people were saying, the tower fell. And I'm like, I told y'all it fell. And then I remember when the second tower collapsed, screaming ensued. And again, I'm one of these people who, I don't believe in just willy-nilly screaming. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Screaming? I think when you scream, it's really supposed to be for attention. That's why you scream. You scream to, somebody doing something to me. He's got me, and y'all ain't paying no attention. Ah! You know what I'm saying? That's why you scream. And people looking like, because it's irritating. And so people look like, who the F over there screaming? Oh, he got her, That's the reason why you scream. You don't just scream just because. And so there's somebody in the room with me, and they just bust out screaming. And I'm like, why are you screaming? Why are you screaming? Ah! Ah! What? We in this little room. Why are you screaming? You're not. And if you get their attention here, they can't help the people at the building. Don't scream. It's not helping anybody. But of course, I try to temper my response, stuff like that. And I was just like, because, you want to be sensitive to people. And the most sensitive thing that I could say was, what the fuck you screaming for? And, she's, the building fell, the building fell. And I'm like, I can see it. But what is screaming gonna do? And then she walked out the room and she was mad at me. But I was trying to be sensitive. I was trying. So yeah, I remember, that's what I remember about September 11th. And then of course, the aftermath and everything was shut down and, nobody was going anywhere because the terrorists was going to hit. Oh, you can't go to the store. People were going to the store, but big gatherings. Nobody wanted to have a big gathering because the terrorist was going to get you. Nobody wanted to have a small gathering because the terrorist was going to get you. Really? Y'all really believe the terrorists going to get... It's 6 of us. Y'all think the terrorists is going to come and get us? They probably not going to be able to fly planes into this little apartment. You know what I'm saying? It's just not reasonable, but we're not always reasonable. We're not always reasonable. Esteban said it was something we never seen before. Okay, I'll give you that. But Scream? Scream? I don't know. And I would even get, oh my God. That's shock. You're shocked. Like, oh my God, can you believe this? Like that's reasonable. But just, what good is that going to do? Like, really? You in Cincinnati. Twin says, Emanuel Livingston, you are a terrorist. I'm a terrorist. Not exactly sure what a terrorist is, but okay, if you say so. But yeah, no, that's what I remember about September 11th. People were really mad at, I mean, it ushered in a new wave of extreme racism. So yeah, that's my memories. That's my memories. But a lot of people died on that day. First, I just want to be clear. I still don't believe the story about the Let's Roll and the people who blew, supposedly, allegedly crashed a plane in Pennsylvania. I don't believe that story. I remember I was watching the news because, we had multiple things on, and there was a report. I think it was Channel 9 reported, like, a plane landed somewhere. And I think they even had video. If I remember, they even had video. And then next thing you know, oh no, that plane didn't land. It was over Pennsylvania. And then the passengers took it over and crashed it into the ground. Like, I don't believe that story. I still don't believe that story. I think it's much more likely that they shot that plane down. But what do I know? I actually still believe, this is not a popular opinion, but it's my opinion. And I don't have anything to back it up. It's just my opinion. If Bush and Cheney wasn't directly involved, which I believe the government was involved. But even if the government wasn't directly involved, they knew. I believe they knew ahead of time. But I really do believe it was, Mary, an inside job. I really do believe that. Now, believe it or not, that doesn't necessarily mean that Osama bin Laden didn't have something to do with it. He might have been working with the government. He might have been working with the government, with the blessings of the government. There was a lot of shady stuff that went on during them Bush years. Bush and Cheney, it was a lot of shady stuff that went on. So I don't know. I just, I have my beliefs, and they're my beliefs. I don't have any proof. I'm not a structural engineer, or, I can't tell you the temperature that steel melts and how it melts to basically implode buildings that were hit by airplanes and apparently implode nearby buildings that were not hit by airplanes. Because nobody talks about, Building 7? Which was a very important building. Nobody really talks about that anymore. But another building collapsed. I don't remember exactly what was in Building 7. At one point, I knew this stuff. I don't remember what was in Building 7. What was in Building 7 that in the building collapsed? I know somebody, one of my conspiracy theory people know. So what? It said, my two big brothers collapsed. I just don't want to live anymore. And then it just collapsed just because. That's not reasonable. That's not reasonable. But maybe there was some other something that happened that I'm not aware of. I wasn't there. But no, that was September 11th. First big event that I remember happening. First big event that I remember happening after that was Monday Night Raw. Because, Vince McMahon was not going to be refunding no tickets. And, he tried to couch it as, we're not going to let the terrorists win. We're going to have Monday Night Raw. But really, if I cancel, then people going to have to get their money back. And I don't want to get them people their money back. So the show goes on. Dwayne Larkin says gold. That was what was in Building 7. It was not aliens. It was not aliens. Jarika says aliens. No, it wasn't aliens. Everybody knows they were in Area 51. So that's that. What else? The Charlie Kirk thing. I actually did eventually watch the video from when he got shot. I watched actually two different angles. Actually, I think I watched 3 angles. 2 or 3 angles. From him getting shot, and yikes. Let me say, I don't agree with Charlie Kirk. That, sometimes some people got to get shot and die to protect our Second Amendment rights. He believed that it's just a part of, if you're going to have a Second Amendment, some people, they're going to be, some people are just going to be collateral damage. Like, hey, if we gonna have guns, Some people gonna have to lose their lives in order for us to maintain the right to have guns. And that's what he believed. So what they say, he walked it like he talked it. He walked it like he talked it. I'm certain he didn't mean himself, but I would imagine, based on, his comments, if he were still here, he'd probably say, hey, sometimes people just got to die to protect our Second Amendment rights. And I happen to be one of those people. So, but no, there's a lot of people that, as the young people say, they big mad. It's a lot of people that's really mad about Charlie Kirk being shot. And again, I have to be honest. I don't believe people should kill people. I believe, there is a natural order to things. And if you're defending yourself, it's okay. But just because, that dude's a racist, let me kill him. That dude says stuff I don't like, let me kill him. I don't believe in that. I really don't. I promise y'all, I do not believe in that. So it's terrible that someone made the decision to kill that man. That's the truth. Now, I'm not sitting here crying and stuff because I think racism is equally terrible. I mean, based on the things that he says and the things that he kind of puts out there, or that he, I guess, used to put out there, I would imagine a lot of people were victimized and some lives were lost behind his ideology. So, I don't know. I'm not happy that the man is dead. I'm not. He got kids, and them kids don't have a father now, and that's terrible. But when I went to sleep last night, I wasn't thinking about Charlie Kirk. And when I heard about it, I was like, oh my goodness, he a racist. And somebody shot him. Nobody should be shooting people for their views, but he is a racist. Sierra says, I was told that we shouldn't care about his racism because he didn't have any impact on the lives of black people or something like that. I don't know that that's true. I think he had a lot of influence over policies and things that are affecting a whole lot of black people, in particular, apparently a whole lot of black women who are losing jobs. So I don't know that I agree with that. When you got the ear of the president and the Republican Party who controls Congress, like both houses, who control the Supreme Court, when you have the ear of the entire government, you got influence. So, yeah, I reject that. And yeah, like somebody said, and now they're threatening black college campuses. Why are you threatening black college campuses? The picture, hold on, that the FBI released, that don't look like a black college campus guy. This is their person of interest. Don't look like somebody that you would find just chilling on a black college campus. I mean, you can see all kind of people on black college campuses, but I wouldn't say that he's representative of black college life. So they mad at black people because probably a white dude killed another white dude. Now tell me how that makes sense. Hey, a white guy killed a white guy. Let's go get the black people. That don't make sense to me. But, who am I? What do I know? And you notice nobody's talking about white on white crime. Nobody's talking about white on white crime. I don't have a picture of the dude who went and shot up a school. He was a white boy. And I'm saying white boy, he was a boy, and he was white. What do they call him? A baby face. I don't know. What did they call him? Baby-faced attacker. That's what they call him. The baby-faced attacker. Nobody's talking about white on white crime. Because that's not real. That's different. It's different, Emanuel, and you know it's different. It's different, and you know it's different. Black Lion say F his kids. That's the same thing I would have told Donald Trump about his kids. I don't agree with that. I'm just being honest. I don't. I'm that kind of guy. Like, I don't believe people should be harming people. I just don't. I'm not telling you got to feel like I feel, but I'm telling you how I feel. I don't believe people should be harming people. Not, for if he did something, to you, do what you got to do. But he said some stuff I don't like. And I mean, granted, he had influence, but that's not the way we're supposed to deal with people with influence and in a political realm. It's just not. Tanika says he was a blatant racist. Good riddance. I agree he was a blatant racist. I'm not sad that he's not here anymore. I'm just not agreeing with the way he was taken out. Like if he would have, had some sort of a heart condition and passed away, then I would be like, hey, I'm glad he's not here, But I'm not happy with somebody taking his life. Honestly, I'm not. Ibadathia says that's an AI image. I don't know if it's an AI image or not. It's the image that they've released, and I'm not vouching for its authenticity. I'm just saying it's the picture that they released. But yeah, no, man, white on white crime. It's real. Jericho says we ain't supposed to be concerned with what they do. Brenda says we don't know the reasons he was killed. Well, I'm not speaking to the reasons that he was killed. I'm speaking of the fact that, dude was out in the open and somebody fired a shot and killed him. That's not really the way you're supposed to do that. Like, whoever the person was that did it, I don't think that they were in any immediate mortal danger from him. So maybe, which even then I still don't necessarily agree. But maybe if they come out and like, hey, Charlie Kirk, did some bad stuff to my family and my kids, and he did this and did that, and he was threatening to do more, and so I had to take him out. That seemed a little far-fetched, though, for real. Brendan said when they hit Nancy Pelosi's husband in the head, they make mass jokes. Well, they're wrong. They're wrong. And I believe, y'all know this about me, I believe in giving people a taste of their own medicine. I really do. But I don't necessarily believe in being like, you don't have to do everything that they do. Even for me, here and there, a few things are off limits. Okay, let me take that back. I won't necessarily say off limits, but maybe people shouldn't do it. Maybe people shouldn't do it. And, politically speaking, I'm okay with people not caring. I'm comfortable with that. I'm okay with, people like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You live a certain life and you what somebody said, you put out a certain energy and that's the energy that you get back. I'm okay with people saying and acknowledging that. I don't know that I like people necessarily joking about somebody being murdered. Ron Tucker says, I watched a lot of his debates or speeches. I can care less. You mean you couldn't care less? If you can care less, that means you care. Like, my level of care is here. I can care less. That means my level of care could be here. But if my level of care is here and this is the bottom, I couldn't care any less. Like, see how little I care? It can't go any further down because it's all the way at the bottom. Oh, it's here. I can care less. That means you care. I couldn't care less is the term. I don't know why that bothers me as much as it does, because I feel like people should know that. It only makes sense. But let me not get off on that anymore. So really what he's saying is I couldn't care less, really. I didn't wish death on the man, but best believe he reiterated it. You mean you couldn't care less? That hurts my spirit. I don't know why. Something about that hurts my spirit. Stephanie High said it's unacceptable. Don't take his beliefs out on his children. I mean, unless, of course, his children have espoused those same beliefs. In which case, hey, you a racist, your wife a racist, and your kids are racist. F all y'all, But I have no evidence that his children have espoused any of that. Well, they was going to raise them that way. Well, until they get there, they get the benefit of the doubt. You would have thought that about Ronald Reagan. Like, oh, his kids is going to be just like him. But what was it? Ronald Reagan Jr. was very much against Ronald Reagan and his philosophies and policies. So you never know. You never know. Someone told me Trump fired all of the people that could have found the shooter by now. That's possible. That's possible. Tanika says, how someone dies is out of control. It's up to the Most High God. I don't know if I agree with that. I might agree that when someone dies is up to God. But how is up to God? I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. This is not looking good for our youth right now at our black colleges, any black school at this point. Sammy says, the part that gets me so angry is that they're showing Charlie Kirk more reverence than any school or church shooting in America. Very true. Very true. Yeah, I saw Wonder Woman. I saw that video too, I believe. The same. Said he was going to be the next president. He was crying. He was crying. Like crying hard too. Daryl says he believed Trump administration ordered a hit. Trump realized he was slipping significantly in approval polls and with all the stuff going on with Epstein files. So to get young conservative voters riled up for the midterm election year, and white that killing was in the news, Congress passed a no vote on releasing the Epstein files. The vote was 51-49. You're saying, wow, that, maybe that is an L. It looked like a T from here. While that killing was in the news, Congress passed a no vote on releasing the Epstein files. Oh, I'm far behind. Brent, I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that, Brent. Ron says, my bad. I couldn't care less. Oh, it just bothers me. Oh, Sharika's a hater. Talking about she can care less what I think with my fancy degrees and certificates. I'm trying to catch up with the Pharaoh. I got to get me a welding certificate before it's all said and done. I really do want to learn how to weld. I really do. Hey, can you change the subject? You're giving this man too much time and energy. I don't agree with you. I don't agree. I'm not really giving him the time and energy. I'm talking about overall the state of America and how we process things and all that kind of stuff. So it's not giving him energy. Oh, got the phones ringing. Hold on, let me see where the phone's at. Go to the phones. Caller? Hello? Hello? Caller? Hello? I don't know what happened. There. Looked like they were still there, and then they hung up. Okay. Maybe it was on my end. Call back, caller. I reset the phones. I didn't shut it down like, I normally do. So if you call back, and hopefully it'll work this time. And if you want to give me a call, 513-717-KING. It's 513-717-5464. All right. Caller.
What's up, E?
How are you?
I'm okay, bud.
Who is this?
It's Twin.
You at the airport?
No, I'm outside chilling.
And you got me on speaker outside?
I ain't on speaker. Why you say that?
Bro, I'm on speaker.
You're not on speaker, man.
I am on you on a Bluetooth or something?
I'm on my landline, man.
You are not. Your landline couldn't possibly sound that bad. And how you on a landline outside?
I'm sitting on the porch, man.
Hold on. You got a wireless phone?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I think...
You want me to call you back on my horn?
All I know is this sounds like I'm on speaker and you're outside. It sounds horrible.
I'll call you on my horn, man.
On your horn?
My phone, man.
Okay.
Silly.
All right. It's always an adventure. It is always an adventure. How that was clearly It was something. It was a, always an adventure. Um, where was I? And I was twin on his landline outside sitting on the porch. He had me on, yeah, I'm sorry. You're right, Wonder Woman. He was on his cordless phone, his 900 megahertz cordless phone. Twin.
Was you trying to make fun of me or something, man?
A little bit, yeah, because you was on a 900 megahertz phone,
I was on my landline, man.
cordless.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible. Get you a new one. They got new ones. I mean, even though it don't seem like it, they actually are still making phones. Go get a decent phone.
Man, and the phone, all right, man. I don't use the phone really no way.
It's really
So,
not. But what's on your
you
mind?
said what? You said it's bad.
No, I said what's on your mind.
Oh, no, man. I ain't too much want to, vent with you in case you make fun of me or something like that. Nice shirt you got on. Where you get it from?
I don't remember where I got this shirt from. I done had this shirt for years. Why you always concerned about my clothes? That's racist.
I thought you was going to come in like the Pillsbury Dope Boy or something today. Something like the Type 4X or 2X or something. 2T.
No, I'm pretty sure you are the Pillsbury dope boy.
Probably is, man. I've been eating a lot, but I'm trying to slow down. Went to the doctor the other day, man. Hey, buddy, your cholesterol's high. I said, Doc, I eat fried food a lot and everything. He said, slow down. I said, I will. So,
Okay.
yeah, my cholesterol high, man. I've been eating a lot of fried food and everything. But I got to stick with my beans and cornbread and everything.
I don't know that got anything to do with you being the Pillsbury dope boy.
On my stomach and everything,
No,
man. Like
I'm talking
8
about.
months pregnant.
I said the Pillsbury dope boy
Yeah, whatever.
with a P, dope,
Yeah, whatever.
like
I
that
heard
stuff
what you
people
said.
sell. You know.
Yeah. Man, it sounded like it was a hit, man. From me just looking and observing and everything and reading, man, it seemed like it was a hit on old boy, Charlie Kirk dude.
How you figure
Man,
that? How did you come to that conclusion?
hey, man, the dude probably want to, go against Trump and him probably wanted to come the next president and all that, man. It seemed like it was a hit. Then
Hold on.
dude, man.
Wait, hold on. Before you go to dude, I'm just asking you, what did you see to make you believe what you believe, or you just believe it
Man.
because you heard somebody else say it?
No, he was too conservative, and once you be too conservative and they don't go with your agenda, like, man, he might say something. He talk too much.
Who
or something
is
like
this
that.
saying that? Who's saying, oh, he might say something? He talking too much.
I mean, he know too much and everything. And Trump, his party and everything.
Wait, so you think
You
Trump?
know, his circle.
So you think Trump had him killed?
Yeah, I really do. It was a hit. Dude too conservative, and he was making. Remember, he was making a lot of noise, man, when he first came out. For the last 13 years, maybe, something like that. He was making a lot of noise, and then now that he realized, it's just like Malcolm X. When he was with her for so long, and he got knowledge and everything about what Muhammad was doing. He's like, man, this ain't right. Hey, off with your head. And that's how Trump feels. Now, he know too much. He in the game. He probably try to come the next president. He try to do this and all that. He too conservative. And he got knowledge of everything.
But I'm saying,
hey,
I understand what you're saying. I don't necessarily understand why you're saying it. What have you seen to make you believe that? That's what I'm asking.
man, hey, man, dude, they got the picture of, he's in all black, sitting on top of the roof in all black. What'd he do? Leave his ID or something like that? How y'all gonna know who it is? From how you go do your investigation, whatever. The fabrics of his clothes and all that. Did you see dude on the top of the roof?
Wait, before I answer your question, please answer mine. I'm saying I understand what you're saying. What I don't understand is what have you seen to make you believe that Trump would put out a hit on this guy?
You ain't gotta see it. You just gotta listen to how dude from years and years past along. He's talking too much. He got knowledge now. Yeah, I base this scenario with Malcolm X.
Right,
I
know.
combined them together. When
Right.
Malcolm X when Malcolm X was on that, oh yeah, you right, Farrakhan, you right, Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, you right. But when he went over there and got knowledge over there in Mecca and came back, I'm not on that. I'm not on that. They was lying to me the whole time.
And what knowledge?
And that's how.
Hold on. What do you believe Charlie Kirk was saying that was so powerful that Donald Trump would have him killed?
Say for instance, I'm out here killing people and everything, and I'm doing this robbing and everything. Now at my last days, I'm trying to get this organization together on the good terms. I put away my foolish ways and everything. Now Twin doing this thing right, but it's too late. Now that I got knowledge of how to do this, orchestrate this.
Now, again, you keep explaining the theory. I understand the theory.
I gotta break it down to dummy terms.
Right, no, but you're not.
And that's what I'm doing.
No,
yes, I am.
All I'm asking you is, you said he got some new knowledge. What knowledge did he get? What did he say that you saw that?
I believe, Emanuel, to be honest, I believe he was kicking that dumb stuff off, spitting that bogus, not conservative thinking, like the what you call it, the mega or whatever Trump wanted to think and all them wanted to think. Hey, I gotta think like them. But when he realized, like, man, this is bogus. I'm doing this the wrong way. Then before he died, somebody asked him a Christian question, a church question, or something like that. If I'm not mistaken. And when he got knowledge of everything, what he need to bring to the table, he was flipping on them. He's a conservative.
All I'm asking you is, what do you believe he was saying that went afoul?
I think he was gonna bring. I think he was gonna flip the strip. I think he was gonna bring a positive knowledge to whatever event he hit, whatever community college or whatever auditorium he hit or something. He was gonna be a positive knowledge. They say, no, you go be on our mega stuff. Or if not, we go execute you. And that's what it was, a hit. That's a hit, man. Regardless of anybody, look, that's a hit.
Twin.
And that's Twin. Come on, man. What's up?
I'm gonna only ask it one more time. What did you hear?
What part you didn't understand?
You haven't said anything that he actually said. You just keep explaining the theory. Hold on. Let me be clear. I understand your theory is he was MAGA, but then he went somewhere and he got some new knowledge.
He was making a good knowledge. He was on MAGA on dummy terms with them. He was speaking their knowledge, speaking what they was forecasting out here. And he said, I can't speak this no more. I'm about to speak my own language in a good way.
What did he say?
No, you're not.
No, what did he say in a good way? What have you heard him say that was different than what he's been saying?
Didn't I just explain it to you? What's the part you don't understand?
I understand the theory.
Listen here, man. Listen here, clown. Listen here. Look, listen here, man.
Oh my
You're
God.
a straight clown. When he went there, just like Malcolm X, we went over there, he was speaking there, this, and white man, this, and all that. But when he got knowledge from Mecca and came back to converse, they off with your head.
I understand the theory. This is about the 12th
What part
time.
you don't understand then? I'm combining both of
I'm combining what you're doing.
man.
What I'm at, look, when Malcolm came back, since that's who you want to compare, Malcolm was not saying the same stuff. Malcolm was not aligned with Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam.
At first he was, though, right?
Right, but when he came back, he
flipped the strip on them. Like, hey, no.
And he
this
said,
what y'all talking about, I'm not on that.
Listen.
And then,
listen. When Malcolm said things that didn't align with the Nation of Islam. I'm asking you,
Okay.
what did
It
Charlie
don't align
Kirk,
with the mega
so
and Trump doing.
What did Charlie Kirk say that didn't align with MAGA?
He was speaking. He was about to flip on him.
What did
he was about to bring in a positive note.
What?
Whatever.
In what way? What did he say that was different than what he's been saying?
3039.
He said 3039?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Appreciate
that
it.
explains it. All right.
No, it's doing something. But yeah, man, come on, man. You don't do this, man. I'm trying to tell you, put your own game, man. I know what it is. It was a hit. He went in line with their agenda, what they wanted, they want to push.
Who did you hear float
Trump.
this theory?
Man, if you just look at it, that's a hit, man. That's a hit. Dude in all black, they pointed a picture at. Dude sitting on there, all black, man.
So anytime you get shot by somebody in all black, it's a hit.
No, he was sitting. I'm saying they had that old man or somebody in custody and stuff, but they let him go. Say no, he ain't this.
And
we got somebody.
And so in your mind, because they had the wrong person in custody, that proves it was a hit.
Man, they showed the dude. Man, they showed the dude on top of the roof.
And so,
dressed in all black.
So anytime you got a person in all black and they shoot you, that proves
Come
it's
on,
a hit.
man, quit doing that, man. Why you do that? Man, you horrible, man.
Oh my God,
you trash, man. Today, man. Loosen your damn shirt or collar or something, man. You trash, man. God ain't got nothing to do with this. You bogus as hell today, man.
My God.
That's why I can't vent with your ass, because you on bullshit.
You can't vent with me because I try to ask you questions to try to make what you saying make sense.
You ask the same damn question like a goddamn DMV test. Nigga, you try to write versa.
Answer the question. What did he say that was different than what he's been saying all along? That's the only question. No. What exactly did he say that was different than what he's been saying all along?
I only speak English, man, and a little bit of Spanish, a little bit. But that other language you talking about, whatever you talking about, man, he was go flip on them, man. He was go flip on them.
Okay.
He was bringing a positive note. If you these last month or two, listen to his speeches, whatever.
That's what I'm asking you. What did he say in those speeches that's different than what he's been saying all along? What did he say?
It's called open your eyes and ears and listen to his. No.
What he said?
Quit hollering, man. Raising your blood pressure for what?
I'm just asking. What did he say?
He was bringing a positive note, man.
In what way? What did he say?
He wasn't speaking that racist stuff like he used to.
So what was he saying? What did he say?
You know what he said?
No. That's why I'm asking you.
I'm about to tell you right now if you listen. But you don't listen. You raise your blood pressure for God ain't got nothing to do with it.
13 minutes later, tell me what he said. I'm listening.
No, man. I'm gonna tell you right now.
All right. He hung up. Oh, Lord. Oh, he done heard somebody's theory. It's not a difficult question. He's saying something different than what he was saying before. Okay, what is he saying? Oh, but don't you understand? He was saying something different. What? Something different. What don't you understand? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Charlie Kirk wasn't saying nothing different than what he been saying. And I'm not saying that it was or was not a hit. I don't know if it was a hit. I don't know. I mean, if you that far away and you make that shot, that sound like it seem like it's somebody who's a skilled shooter. But it was a hit. I don't know if it was a hit. If you think it was a hit, I'm not arguing that it wasn't. All I'm asking is, what have you seen that points to that? That's it. Sierra said, did he hang up? Yes, he hung up. Yes, he did. One might say he ran, but he would say he didn't. He He don't do all of that question answering and logic stuff, reason. Oh, boy. And people swear up and down, I'll be doing something. I just asked a simple question. That's it. A simple question. Oh. Okay. If you think it was a hit and you want to call me and tell me what makes you believe it was a hit, I'm open to listen. I'm open to listen. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't believe they're in any way, shape, or form above taking out one of their own. I don't believe that at all. But I don't know of any. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying I don't know of any evidence. I did watch a video. It was a white guy, and he was watching the shooting, and he was pointing, and there was a guy who pulled his, that's what he had on the baseball cap. That was me tugging on the baseball cap. I think it was a dude in the white that was standing behind him on the side. And right before the shooting happened, he did something like this and tugged on his baseball cap, like a baseball sign. And then there was a dude in black, either behind him or, just off to the side or something. And again, these both happened right before the shooting. He did something, something like that. And then, boom, Charlie Kirk got hit, blood came gushing out. And they're not baseball players. That was a hit. Why would they do that? Why do that right before the shot got fired? And I'm like, that could just be coincidence. You know what I'm saying? You out in the field, it might be mosquitoes or gnats or something. Something fly too close to your face and you adjust your hat. A gnat land on you and, you brush yourself off. And then a shot happens. Could be coincidence. But it could have been a signal. Now's the time. Take the shot. Take the shot. Take the shot. Could be, but I don't know. That's kind of flimsy in terms of evidence that something was a hit. Sierra says, apparently someone in the crowd cheered. There is a video of a guy that definitely looks like he's cheering. But here's what you have to understand. Based on my understanding of these events, these ain't invited, invitation-only events. Like he would have showed up to the University of Cincinnati, put his little tent up and his little sign, prove me wrong. And, hordes of people, especially as he grew in notoriety, hordes of people would show up, some who agree with him, some who don't agree with him, and they want to prove him wrong. So you've got people on all sides. Like, I agree with some of this stuff. I don't agree with other stuff. He a racist, and I'm going to go up there and I'm going to prove him wrong. And, he's a conservative and he's so wrong and I'm going to prove it. So you have everybody on the whole political spectrum there. So, when he gets shot, it's reasonable possibly that somebody there yeah, he got shot, but that still don't prove it's no hit. A guy got shot and he died. He was well known and it is what it is. Ibadathia says if it wasn't a hit, It definitely wasn't friendly fire. Well, it definitely that seems like. And look, I've only shot a rifle a few times. Even though I'm supposed to be going down with my cousin on the ranch. Yes, he actually has a ranch. I'm supposed to be going down with my cousin on the ranch to shoot some. He got some really nice guns. Yeah, I told you, I've never shot an AR. So, go down there and do some shooting. But I don't know that 200 or so yards away, I would be able to strike somebody in the throat. You know what I'm saying? That seemed like a kind of a, they moving too, So that seemed like it would take a little bit of skill, a whole lot of skill to make that shot. But yeah, they mad. HBCUs being, locked down and put on alert and all of that kind of stuff because they're getting threats. So, and I just don't understand how you come to that conclusion based on the photograph that was released. Black people getting blamed for what? It's a little bug in here, buzzing around. See, one might think I'm giving a signal. This is not me giving a signal. It's a little bug in here, like a gnat buzzing in my ear. It's not a signal to do nothing. But based on that picture, how do you blame black people for this? But they find a way. And then the people talking about, the left, and they, say all these stuff, and they call us names, and they this and they that. And I'm like, have you ever heard of Donald Trump? Who called more names than Donald Trump? Who say more outlandish stuff than Donald Trump? CK.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Livingston? Emanuel.
CK, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Man, I'm glad you got on the show. I'm doing great, man. I got paid today, man, on Thursday. So you know what that means.
You're going to pay some bills. Hey, you can't beat that.
Yeah, it is. Come on, man. I paid the rent, so I already got that, you know what I mean? So like you said, pay that electric bill. Pay that phone bill. That's it. All you really got now is electric and phone. Nigga ain't got a water bill no more. Brother ain't got no ain't got nothing. Just electric and phone and rent. Consolidated. Cincinnati, I like living here, Emanuel. But I was calling you about the assassination dead man, Chadwick. What's his name? Chadwick?
Sure. That's a good name for him, Chadwick.
This Chadwick guy.
First,
okay,
I
go
reject
ahead.
that it was an assassination. It was just a dude.
A murder attempt.
Yeah, no, it wasn't an attempt. It was a dude who got shot and he died.
You said it wasn't an attempt. Why would you make light of something like that? That was a murder attempt, right? Why would you say that? Come on, you the king of talk. Right?
It wasn't an attempt. It was successful. You call it an attempt when you try to do it and it's not successful.
What Aaliyah told you before she left the earth. She said, if you fail, dust yourself off and try again. So you must first try to murder somebody before you are successful at murder. Thank you, sir. So yes, it was a murder attempt. It was a successful murder attempt. Livingston, king of talk, 0, CK 1.
All right. Well, what else? What else you got on Chadwick?
Look, brother. I'm glad nobody else was injured. I thought it was a multi-shot. When they said one hitter quitter, I said he got took out by his own people. That was white on white violence at its highest form, Livingston.
All right.
This is what 31 years old. They done sent him back. He's gone forever.
Well, hold on.
You
Let me
said-
ask you this: were you aware of Chadwick before this happened?
I never heard of Chadwick till he was dead. I hate that part. I hate that's the worst part about being alive in 2025. You don't hear about people until they die. Remember back in the day, we used to hear about them and then they die, like Red Fox, Archie Bunker. But now you never heard of them until they gone. You know what I mean? Nipsey Hussle, Mo3. Who is these people? Oh, they dead people. I see dead people. I see dead people. This is terrible. He's 31, Livingston. 30 freaking one. How do you feel about that age? Dying at that age by a single gunshot wound.
That's terrible. It's terrible.
That's what I'm trying to say. So watch your effing mouth, boy. I'm not talking to you. I'm calling him a boy. You do not disrespect families who have lost members in Chicago, sir. If you're going to speak on that as a cracker or a Caucasian, you need to be eloquent and be respectful and be like, rest in peace to those people. You don't speak down on them. You don't make light of those victims in Chicago, South Side, especially as a cracker Caucasian. Do you understand me, Livingston, King of Talk? Do you understand?
I don't like that language.
I know you don't, because you're the king of talk. But this is real. He don't like being dead, but he got to deal with it, don't he? Don't he?
Well, I don't. Do you have to deal with it once you're dead? You don't have to deal with anything. Yeah.
But Chadwick was a young man. He didn't know that he was talking about the people he hated, but the people he loved was the people that was going to take him out. They're killing their own people. How do you feel about this white on white violence at the highest level? One shot.
I think it's a
One
shame.
shot.
I think it's a shame what they did to Archie Bunker.
What did they do to Archie Bunker?
I don't know. You brought him up in the conversation about not knowing people until they dead. So I'd imagine Archie Bunker is dead, and it's a shame what they did to him. So I was trying to follow along as best I could.
But do you hear me though? Watch your mouth. You know, you're the king of talk. I don't hear you celebrating deaths on your platform. You might mourn. Sometimes you don't give a damn. You know, that's as bad as you go. You don't really lay on the fire on a dead person. I never really heard that. But that is dangerous rhetoric by anybody, any race. Trust me. You don't get on public platform and disrespect dead people. The dead people have living relatives that will murder Livingston. Do you understand?
I do.
So don't get on. That's what I'm saying. It's the afternoon experiment. He went on a suicide experiment. He thought he could just talk about these people like they didn't matter. They couldn't reach out and touch them. Oh, wee.
But people shouldn't. People again. I'm a stick to this because it's how I feel.
Right.
He should be able to say all of the vile, horrible, racist, homophobic, and any other phobic that you can think of stuff, and not be shot in the throat. I don't believe that that's the way to handle stuff.
Never. Listen, sir. If you're willing to commit that type of homicide, you are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I would never shoot anybody, let alone a cracker. I don't believe in that, sir. I believe in
again. I don't like that language. I don't like that.
I mean, Caucasian. I mean, you know what I mean. Caucasian. I disrespect them because of the name calling they did over the centuries. I felt a lot of N-words, so I disrespect them every time I get. I'm sorry, it's trauma I had to deal with. Do you understand?
No.
Why don't you understand? And you a black man, and you went through the same racist America as me, but you ain't feel no racism. Who are you, Lil Wayne?
Who said I didn't feel racism?
So why don't you disrespect those that disrespected us?
I thought we were talking about why I didn't understand what you were saying.
Okay. But back to the point, sir.
Okay.
This Caucasian, let's refer to him, this Caucasian man, he was too young and too wealthy to be speaking like that. You must have compassion for those who have been victims of violence. Do you agree?
I don't know. Say it again.
You must have compassion for those who are victims of violence in America. To speak against those who have been victims of violence is putting your life in danger, sir.
Maybe.
It ain't no maybe, he's gone, sir. Tell his mother that. Tell his freaking kids that, man. Tell his freaking kids that. What are you going to tell his kids? He ain't going to say nothing, Livingston. This is how I have to deal with his death. He ain't here no more. Every death I have to deal with, I'm still here. I'm still here, Livingston. I don't talk like him. You see, every time you hear me on a public platform, what you hear me saying? I'm praying for your family. I'm praying for Wyatt family. I'm praying for the commenters. I keep myself out of the line of fire. You should do the same, Livingston. You must teach the people when you talk publicly, talk in peace. Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. These people were not about violence. Huh?
Nothing. I just said it's a little gnat flying around here, and I keep seeing it out the corner of my eye. It's a gnat and a mosquito. And so I keep rubbing myself because, you know, the mosquitoes land on you and they bite you and you don't feel it because, you know, they got that whatever in they whatever it is that they stick in you to draw your blood out, and you don't feel them land on you. So I just keep, because hopefully if he owned me, then I get him.
Did they arrest the assailant? Yes, sir.
No. Or at least
do they know?
They hadn't by the time I came on air. They had just released a photograph of a person of interest. Like? A white guy.
Yeah. Thank God. That's all I was hoping for. I didn't pray for it, but I was hoping that it wasn't. It was a white. I was hoping that it was a white person.
No. Realistically speaking, there was no doubt in my mind before the picture was released or anything that it was a white guy who did this. This is a white guy crime. This is not a black guy crime. Like the chances of it being a black guy was like 1 in 3 billion or something like that.
Damn, hold on. Like, you said 1 in 3 billion. Yes. You said a lot. So you got a better chance of hitting that big ass Powerball than it being a black guy.
Yes.
That's what you're telling me.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes, there was almost no chance in the world that this was. So there's no even, yes, it was like, I would have been 100% shocked. If they would have showed a picture of a black guy and said it's him, I'd have been like, they setting that brother up. Because ain't no way that was the case. How a black man dressed in all black with a rifle gonna get up on a building? You know what I'm saying? In that environment. Right. Like, come on. It's just not gonna happen. So yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying just even if a brother was willing to do it, he couldn't even do it because of the color of his skin. I like that. Your statement that soliloquy you just went on, that was needed because I didn't know that. When it was open until you told me, I didn't know. I was just hoping it was a white guy. But you telling me common sense told you it was a white guy from the jump.
Yes.
And you felt the same way with the Trump assassination?
Well, he wasn't assassinated, but the shooter.
Sir.
Yes, the shooter definitely white guy.
Okay,
definitely.
So you saying brothers more like fighters and we use knives? We not really into guns like that?
No, brother. I mean, brothers shoot guns, but again, it's that same thing that I keep going to. There's a street over there in Evanston, and right across the street is, I don't know if that's Oakley or Hyde Park or whatever.
Yeah.
Them brothers will stand on the Evanston side with their guns and sell drugs and fight and argue, but they will not cross the street because they just know. So, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Hey, man. Now, I had to give you credit, man. That's excellent clarity. I'm talking about from your speech impediment. Everything you said was right on point, man. That's what I called you for, because you know. Like Raven, your Raven Monday said.
Raven Monday.
She told y'all, if you learn anything from me, don't drop babies on their heads. You know what I mean?
All right.
She said that. She said that's why I respect her. That's honesty. It's a little funny, comical, but it's true. You know what I mean? Because even when you go deep in life, you still have People not gonna care because it's a statute of limitation. They gonna be like, that happened 50 years. How old are you? So just remember, man, what you said about the white man, clarity. Now we understand black people do not do assassinations on white people at all.
For the most part. All right. Is that it?
Man, God bless the family. I'm still
All right.
praying for your family.
CK,
Can
before
respect
you
that?
go,
Yes, sir.
because I love you, bro. So
Yeah, much
I
love.
want to impart just one thing to you. You
Thank
ready?
you.
Statute of limitations.
Statute.
No,
I'm sorry. You're right. Statute.
of limitations. There's not multiple
Statute.
statues of limitations. It's a statute of limitations.
Statute.
Yes.
Now you're right. You're right. You saying I got to keep you, and I'm working. And tell the public before they get on you. He knows I'm working on improving my vocabulary, taking out the profanity. So he's just trying to help. He's not trying to make fun of me or make me look like a monkey. He's not doing that at all. He's just trying to help my speech patterns. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Thank you, sir, man. Praying to the family. I'm gone, man.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. That was CK. I don't know when I got a speech impediment. I don't know. But if he said that I have a speech impediment, maybe I got one and just don't know it. It's possible. You never know. I don't know. I don't know when it happened. But CK said it, I got one. So it is what it is. Y'all know that's one that's always bothered me when people say statue or statues of limitations. Like, it's not a statue. It's just. Oh, all right. What else? What else is going on? All right, I'm about finished talking about that whole situation. Unless you got, something to add in, you please feel free to call in 513-717-KING. But I got about another maybe 20 minutes because I got to cut. Oh, by the way, y'all got me in trouble yesterday. Remember, I told y'all I had something that I had to do. And I was waiting for Mrs. Livingston to come and, let me know. And y'all kept me on the line, and she didn't want to come down and interrupt the show. So I didn't end up doing what I was supposed to do. And she was not happy about that. So y'all got me in trouble yesterday. I hope y'all feel good about yourselves. Because I had to suffer the consequences. The consequences was just some dirty looks. But I'm not used to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not used to that, getting dirty look from Mrs. Livingston. It's normally all, hearts in the eyes and all of that kind of stuff when I'm dealing with her. And I come upstairs and she looking at me like, and I'm like, what's that look for? So, yeah, y'all got me in trouble. And I'm not happy about it. Brent.
Hey, what'd you get in trouble for?
Because I was supposed to be cutting the show early yesterday and doing I had committed to doing some things. And
Right.
y'all kept me on until like 9 o'clock. Almost 9. I think it was around 9 o'clock. And I missed doing the things that I was supposed to do.
And you don't want to miss doing certain things, so I know what it wasn't.
It wasn't that.
And get your honeydew list completed so she can put back the hearts in your eyes again. But how long has the afternoon experiment been in existence? Has it been 2 to 3 years now?
2022?
Okay. So 3 years.
Yeah.
So I would say that the experiment has been successful, so it might be time to change the name to the afternoon breakthrough. That's what Blurs call a successful experiment.
Well, but then I would have to come up with a whole new logo. You know what I'm saying? That was stressful in and of itself. So we're gonna keep the afternoon experiment for a minute.
All right. Hey, just no problem. You could take it under advisement and then file it in the
Yes.
trash. That's cool.
All right.
Charlie was a hero to most. You wouldn't say it, but I'll say it. With the majority of them folks, he was a hero to most. But straight up racist, that sucker was simple and plain. And failed college dropout with poor grades who wound up hitting a lick because he could speak halfway decent and found some multimillionaire and billionaire benefactors that set him up at that Turning Point USA. So he was willing to say everything that he said with his full chest, even though he would misconstrue the data and statistics, to meet his narrative. But oh well. And you see, he always went after college students who were just now learning things, as opposed to him having all of his rehearsed lines. So, but yeah. But I want to elaborate on second trimester twins theory, because I think I understood what he was trying to say.
All right.
That Charlie Kirk was, he didn't say he did flip the scrimps. He said he was finna flip the scrimps. So he was about to do a whole changeover, and they had to stop him, before he did it. But to add another conspiracy, what if the shooter was, Trump administration, or someone affiliated with it? What if they intended to just wing Charlie in the ear or someplace like that, and the dude was just off? Now they're trying to scramble and say, okay, what we gonna do, and let's find this guy, and they're saying the guy they're looking for did it, but they don't know, just like the other two guys. So he's the alleged shooter.
He's a person of interest.
Person of interest. There we go. And the gun that they found could be the weapon, or it couldn't be. They got to confirm that with ballistics or fingerprints, or however they're gonna do that. So yeah, because I remember. Was it when you were on, or someone was on, and they were saying they got the guy, and I was like, okay, and then they're like, oh no, they got another guy, and it's like, oh man. But yeah, so it, for you feel for the parent, well, for the wife and the kids, but the wife knew how he got down. Now whether she agreed with it or not, I don't know, because I never seen her, wouldn't know what to look for. But yeah, so it's crazy. But yeah, he's a hero the most, and that's why Trump decided to lower the flags. And isn't he supposed to be given the posthumously? Oh goodness, I'm mispronouncing the word. After he's dead, Presidential Medal of Honor. Isn't he supposed to get that? Or
but the Medal of Freedom or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing he gave to that other racist, Rush Limbaugh.
Yes.
Before he. Got touched by the Black Death Angel that touched Uncle Charles Yaw in the forehead and took him on to glory. So, well, not to glory, but took him to the other side. I don't know if you were listening to Lincoln's show when Ron called in.
No.
Because he cleared some things up.
Hold on. Before you clear things up, I really do need Ron to call, because I need Ron to clear it up, because I'm going to listen to what you say, and I'm one of those people who like to get the information firsthand, and as best as he can give it firsthand. I would love to hear the information from him and know what he needs from the community. But go ahead.
Yeah. Now let's take one step back. Lincoln did a great job over the past couple of days in actually interviewing Ron and to get more details out of him when Ron would actually answer the questions. So, it wasn't, wearing the mayor interviews where he's tossing softballs and blocking and everything. He was asking some good and legitimate questions, even though Lincoln was expecting video and all he got was a police report, which, you can put anything on a police report. Police report is just that. Now, if it's found out to be inaccurate or looking to defraud, you can be charged with misdemeanor. But he said that. Well, first let's get the big thing. The whole thing is, who is Haman? Because he was calling me Haman.
Clearly,
We
you're
didn't
Haman.
know. Yes, but we didn't know we didn't know the reference. He said I knew the reference, and I didn't know the reference outside of the oracle. The wise man, Paul Heyman. E.C. Paulie Dangerously. That's the only Heyman I knew.
I thought he was talking about ain't his name Paul Heyman, the boxing promoter? Al Heyman. I thought he was talking about Al Heyman.
Okay, no, he was not talking about either one.
Oh.
He was talking about a Bible character by the name of Haman, Haman, in the book of Esther. So apparently, I don't know the whole story and how he involved, but apparently Haman was trying to set up Esther or something like that, or set up the children of Israel, and I guess in that set of scriptures is, what God meant for bad, or what the devil meant for bad, God meant for good, testimony line that people use. So that's why he was calling me Haman. And I'm like, okay, that's strange. If you don't list me as a Bible character, list someone who is more recognizable, and just don't assume that, I'm an encyclopedia on the Bible. And if he just said it was Bible, and once he finally said it, I was like, oh, this is who he's talking about. So, oh well. But number two.
Wait. But still, help me understand the reference. So he's saying that you set him up to see bad happen to him?
I think he was saying, and he'll have to confirm this, I think he was saying that me calling in to recount the story that he told about him getting knocked out was to make him look bad, but by me calling in, that's when the lieutenant was listening to the Lincoln show, heard about that they had closed Ron's case, and then the police lieutenant called Ron and said, yes, it needs to be reopened, which is, man, to put all that together, that sounds like some Ron logic and everything. So from my standpoint, it was just jokes. You know that. It was just jokes because he decided to mention me. And when you don't mention me, I don't mention you. I just keep it moving.
Okay.
Unless you have some incorrect information that I needed to clear up. But the second point is that he did not get, he doesn't know if he got knocked out by the snow bunny. He said he doesn't know who knocked him out. So it could have been the snow bunny, but he said he engaged with the snow bunny, which I don't know what that means. So something happened, but ultimately, yes, he did get, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, he did get beat up by a group, and the white girl was apparently the ringleader. Or, she's a person of interest that they need to be looking for.
Wait, here's my questions. Because I've heard portions of the story twice.
And it's changed each time, but yeah.
But it's helped me follow along. So he was downtown the night of one of the nights of the festival. What, on Fountain Square, right?
Penny Ford. Yeah.
And Penny Ford apparently performed or was there at the very least. He was speaking to her. Yeah. Something happened, and he got into a verbal altercation with a young Caucasian female. Am I good so far?
He was backstage or behind the stage, and some white female and some black teens were hassling a homeless guy or unhoused guy.
Okay.
That's how it's changed a little bit. But yeah.
And he was taken up for the homeless guy?
Yes.
And
trying to play peacemaker.
And so that's when the young white female said something, and he said she was acting like a B word or something of those natures. I mean, something along those lines.
Yeah, called her a UNITY. Yeah. And she probably turned around and said, "Who are you calling a B?"
Yeah, she didn't take kindly to that, so she confronted him. Did they argue, or did she just sock him?
Don't know.
Okay.
Don't know. Well, he claims that she didn't sock him, but he says he don't remember. So
Well, okay. That's
I'm still going where she caught him with a right cross, or no, one of the Mike Tyson from Punch Out uppercuts. You know, one of them uppercuts, and all your whole bar is gone, and you on the ground. You know,
and
Will
that
Max.
look, that sounds somewhat reasonable. I've never been knocked out before, but I've known people who got knocked out, and they don't remember what led up to it sometimes. So, like, and we say, you know, she knocked him out of his senses or something like that, and so yeah, maybe
yeah, that's possible.
yeah, she hit him so hard he lost his senses and he don't remember exactly what happened. But eventually they had to take him to the hospital because, you know, potentially.
No, I don't think he went to the hospital. He said he was having trouble breathing, but I don't think he ever went to the hospital. He did the report 3 days later.
Right. No, I could have sworn that I heard a portion of the story that the ambulance had to come and they took him to the hospital. I thought, honestly, I heard him say that.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's been 3 or 4 different versions. I may not have heard, you know, the different iterations of it, but yeah. But 3 days later, he reported it, and the police guy took the report, ultimately closed it, and the way he explained it on Lincoln's show, I see why the police officer closed it, because he was all over the place, and Lincoln had to nail him down. Who is Heyman? Heyman? Brett Beard? Is that Heyman? I'm like, what in the world is going on? Because I just didn't know the reference.
Okay.
So he was way over my head with that one.
But and that's why I really do wish he would call in. I don't want to make fun of him. I really do want to understand what happened and what he needs from the community.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like something that somebody should maybe be doing something about, and something that we shouldn't be comfortable with people brushing under the rug. I don't want to call him elderly. A mature black man being beat up by a white girl and her friends is just as much of a crime as Holly getting socked in the face.
Yeah.
And for the police
go
ahead.
Well, one of the things that I just remembered is that in one of the iterations of the story, there was security back there that was in between them, and that's when she sucker punched him. When it's almost like a wrestler, how the referee get between you, you punch over the top of him. That's the way I imagine it. So there's security involved in some of the stories, then it's not involved, and because then it's blaming the police and the mayor and Democrats in general, that type of thing. So so the story is all over the place. So it'd be good to get another round and then compare that to what's actually in the police report. Because I'm sure that story may be a little bit different just based on his remembrances.
Because I genuinely believe, and especially the fact that he went and filed a police report, police maybe need to be held accountable for their inaction. So Holly can get knocked out and all hell break loose and Cincinnati ain't safe. Yeah. But a mature black man get knocked out and nothing to see here, no crime, everybody go home. That's not equal justice. And that's why I would love for him to call in so that I can understand what happened and find out what he needs from the community. Because, I didn't hear the Lincoln Ware show, but in my mind, I know that Lincoln probably, and I'm not saying 100% because I didn't hear, but Lincoln probably wasn't thinking about it in terms of that. Maybe a little bit of mockery, maybe a little bit of, because, Ron.
I think Lincoln was generally confused.
Right. Some confusion, but that doesn't help Ron potentially deal with the situation that needs to be dealt with and the community deal with the situation. It happened on the same night, but one of them dismiss it and the other one, let's give them $5.4 million to make the city safe. So that's why I would love to talk to him just to understand. But
Yeah, because part of that, when Haman called and what devil meant for bad, God made it good, a lieutenant called him. So if Ron can remember the name of the lieutenant, that would go a long way in trying to piece everything together, because the lieutenant then would know the officer, or it should at least be on the police report, what is the reporting officer's name. So if folks have seen that, hit up the reporting officer and let's get him on the afternoon experiment. Have him call in the Lincoln show so we can get an understanding of that. But there's still one piece of the puzzle that is missing. Y'all wear mesh shoes up in Cincinnati, and what do these mesh shoes look like?
I'm not
because
sure.
in all the iterations of the stories, his shoe went off. His shoe came off.
I'm not 100%
Or it didn't allow him to get his balance. So
yeah, I don't know what that means, but look, I don't know what mesh shoes are. Okay, that's first.
yeah.
But even if he had on, if you just down there to relax and enjoy a concert on the square, you know what I'm saying? You might just be really relaxed, your dress.
Yeah.
And so you never know. I don't know what mesh shoes are.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you are not expecting it, you can get caught off guard, and you got on some slip and slides or some Stacy's or Gators, depending on where you're from. Yeah, I can understand that, but he was focused on the mesh shoes, and I just don't know what mesh shoes are. I'm thinking of maybe Crocs, but that doesn't make any sense if you're down at a concert and you're looking good and you go down to your feet and you got Crocs on. So I don't think it's that. So yeah, so I hear things like that, and it's like, really, what are those? And I get to thinking. But yeah, no, he really should call in. Ron, I finally understand your Heyman reference, obscure and all, but I understand it. But I don't think I had any. Like I said, unless you think that the lieutenant was listening and looked it up and then called you, if that happened, hey, great. You can get some closure. Maybe we start a GoFundMe. Who knows? I don't think you're gonna get $500,000, $600,000, but you may get, $150 or something. So hey, in the end, it all comes out for the good. So, but I think that's all I got. I had to write down some notes, and I think I covered most of everything. But thank you for allowing me this time on the afternoon breakthrough.
Brent, I appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Oh, I hit the button that time, maybe a little premature. But yeah, that's the reason that I want. But look, Ron got a right to call or not call. I don't know that everybody kind of takes everything the same. Not that, it's bad. Either way, I mean, it is what it is. It don't necessarily have to be, somebody did something wrong. But, yeah. Hold on, let me see something. If I browse. Oh, this computer trying to slow down on me. And put that up there. Maybe if I do that, bring that up. Oh, that actually worked. I didn't expect that to work. Okay. Mesh shoes sounds silly, but maybe this is what he's talking about. And if you just down on the square, like Sierra saying, it was like 90 degrees festival weekend, you just down there to, watch a little concert on the square, have a good time. Those don't seem like an unreasonable pair of shoes. Not that necessarily that those are the shoes, but those are considered mesh shoes. So that don't seem like an unreasonable shoe to wear, to, just go down on the square and relax and enjoy a little concert. Sounds weird to say it. And I'd never heard of it. I just, as Brent was talking, I was Googling mesh shoes men. And this was one of the first ones that came up. So, yeah, Yeah. Maybe. Yo Underwood say he tripping. You can fight in them. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. And I don't know if those are the type of shoes that Ron was wearing. But I did hear mesh shoes, and I had never heard of mesh shoes before. So, yeah. But you know, hey, if he don't want to call in and share, you know, he might be busy. People actually work sometimes when this show is on, so he might be busy during the show and he don't have an opportunity to call, or you know, he might be boycotting the show. You never know. You never know. But if he is out there, or if you know him, tell him I would love for him to call in and explain to us what happened. Not, you know, for this. Look, and for all y'all saying that's not funny. That's not funny. When you first hear the story, it can kind of be funny. It can kind of strike you as funny. It can. Like, come on, just realistically speaking, depending on how the story is framed, it could come off as funny. But I'm not, you know, trying to take it in that direction. I'm trying to take it in the direction of figuring out what happened and why it was okay for it to happen to him, but it wasn't okay for it to happen to Holly. If he had, I thought I heard him say he had some broken ribs. If he had broken ribs, Holly had a concussion. What makes her concussion more important than his broken ribs, you know? So that's it. That's all I'm saying. I don't want him to call to make fun of him. Because if I wanted him to call to make fun of him, I wouldn't even necessarily tell him to call. I would just wait till he called and then make fun of him. But I have no desire to do that. Not like you fighting Mr. Ware. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. And Janice says, so, laugh at the brawl. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you're saying. But okay, y'all. I don't think we have anything else. It's almost, 8 o'clock. I do have to get out of here. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. Oh, shoot. Get that here. All hearts and minds are clear. All hearts and minds are clear. Let's see. I'll give it a couple minutes. I'm fairly certain that I will be here tomorrow. I'm fairly certain of that. Vanessa says, you remember you imitated me when you made Lincoln mad. How did I imitate you? Do I know what you sound like? And why would me imitating you make Lincoln mad? Vanessa, I don't remember that. How long ago are we talking? I don't typically imitate people. So I find what you're saying questionable. But I'm not saying you're not telling the truth. I don't remember this. Fairly certain is not good enough. Well, what if I said I'm pretty certain? I feel like it's the same thing. Vanessa said, you said something about his mama. Me? Why would I be talking about Lincoln's mama? Reread it. Hold on. Let me go back and reread it. I don't ever remember talking about Lincoln's mama. You remember you imitated me when you made Lincoln mad. That's what I thought that was what I read. Not like you fighting Mr. Ware. You remember you imitated me when you made Lincoln mad. You said something about his mama. Reread it. I don't remember. What did I say about Lincoln mama? This had to be a long time ago because Lincoln mama died a while ago, like years ago. And he was very sensitive about his mama. So I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have said, like, he was really sensitive about his mama. I remember when his mama passed away, one of the things that I said when I called him to kind of check on him is I was like, look, I know this is hard on you because I know you a mama's boy. And he wasn't offended because he was a mama's boy. Like, so yeah, I know he was really sensitive about his mama. Vanessa says, not imitated me. Hold on, let me read it again. You remember you imitated when you made Lincoln mad. Oh, you didn't say me. I added that word in there. Thank you for clearing that up. My brain, every time I read it, put the word me in there. So she's saying, you remember you imitated when you made Lincoln mad. Me? I don't do imitations. Vanessa. I would never. I would never. Okay, but thank you for making me see that. Because every time I read it, I saw the word me in there. So thank you for not giving up on me and making me read what was actually there. I appreciate that. See, I ain't like some of y'all. Somebody correct me. I appreciate. Don't let me be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. And if I stay wrong, stay correcting me. Make me see. Make me see that I'm wrong. Because as all of y'all know, man, you always want to be right. Yes, I always want to be right. Don't let me be running around here wrong. Don't let me be running around here wrong. Oh, okay. Hold on. I do need to. I'm glad I saw this. Vincent say stop fibbing. I don't do imitation. Well, I look like Rich Little. I see Vernon. Look, y'all, I am concerned. My fear now is that Mika Owens is trying to kind of take the same route as Christopher Smitherman. And that's my concern. I'm listening to 700 WLW on my way into class. And I hear them talking about this vote of giving this money. And they're like, and all the white people voted for it, and all the black people but one voted against it. That's the way they're actually reporting the news. Like, this is a news report. This ain't some talk show host, opinion person reporting the news that way. They're reporting the news. All the black people, all the white people voted for this, and all but one of the black people voted against it. I'm like, really? That's the way y'all gonna report the news? And then they were like, and Mika Owens will be on with Scott Sloan, I think she was on with. Scott Sloan. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm seeing a pattern. I'm seeing what I believe, what I perceive to be a pattern. I'm going to disassociate myself. First, I'm going to give away the black majority. Then I'm going to disassociate myself or distance myself from the other black people on council. And then I'm going to attempt to ingratiate myself to the white community by, voting what maybe she perceives to be their interest and going on that particular platform to tout the fact that she is voting in their interest. I didn't hear the interview, but it does concern me. Just watching what might be not so good pattern happen. I don't know, y'all. Daryl said he told us a long time ago. I'm not going to say all that other stuff. That Mika Owens wasn't, I'm going to just say no good. He said he peeped her when she was running for council the first time. Vernon said, I wouldn't put Mika in Smitherman's category. She at least will come on the bus. She even comes into the studio. For context, when Smitherman first made what I perceive as his decision to transition to that other side, he didn't have no problem coming on the buzz either, and he would come into the studio. I remember he gave me the dirtiest looks when he came into the studio one time, because that's when I had told I had come up with the term smithereen for the people who were blindly following him. And he did not like that at all. And he came into the studio and talked. So I think they kind of gradually phase themselves out of a relationship with the buzz. And I remember when people started pointing it out about him, I remember almost as if it was last week, the call that he made defending his position about doing what he was doing on 700 WOW, because he ended with the call with, I love black people and I love the buzz. I remember that like it was last week. And then next thing you know, the transformation was complete. So I don't know. It's a gradual thing. You don't just do it. You gradually make these changes. Maybe it's not the case, and maybe I am kind of jumping the gun. But I am saying I'm concerned about it, and I'll be keeping my eye on it. I'll definitely be keeping my eye on it. And kind of, Jericho says Smitherman had a whole show, didn't he? Yes, he did. He did. But then, we didn't have to, but the company decided that we weren't going to do certain things anymore, so he no longer had his show. But he would still come on sometimes. But then gradually, he made a transition. I don't know. Is it something to keep Something to keep your eyes on. Something to keep your eyes on. Vernon says you could be right. She can't come on the buzz now because of their policy. But WLW doesn't have a policy like that. I think they're about that policy. I think the policy is misinterpreted and misused only because there are some people who are too lazy to do what they have to do to have people on and have it fall within the policy. Like, some people don't thoroughly know the policy. And I'm, because y'all know me, I like to call names. I mean, I like to be clear about who I'm talking about so there's no confusion. I don't know, and I'm saying I don't know, that Terrence fully knows the policy. I don't think Terrence is like a full-time employee there and, that he's sitting in on policy discussions and stuff like that. So I doubt that he fully understands the policy. He's probably just been told, probably by Lincoln, we're not allowed to have people who are running for office on. That's not the extent of the policy. And basically what it is, or at least what it was when I was there, maybe they did change it to no politicians on who are running for office, but I doubt that. What the policy was because there are equal time considerations. The kind of really simplified principle is if you running for mayor, if person A is running for mayor and person B is running for mayor within a particular period of time, which I believe is 90 days, if I remember correctly, within a 90-day window heading into the election, you got to have, if you have person A on for 20 minutes, you have to offer person B 20 minutes. And you don't necessarily have to have them on, but you have to offer them equal time. Now, some people ain't gonna come on. But you have to, and when I say offer it to them, if I recall correctly, like I don't have to call person B and say, I had person A on for 20 minutes. When do you want to come on for 20 minutes? I can have person A on. And then if person B says, hey, I want to come on, then I give you 20 minutes. That's what I gave person A. Like you don't have to reach out to person B and say, I'm offering you 20 minutes. So it's a matter, I perceive it as a matter of people really just don't want to put in the work. Because you kind of got to keep track of who did I have on, who gets an opportunity to have equal time and all of that kind of stuff. You kind of got to keep track of that stuff. And if you kind of a lazy old dude who ain't used to actually doing work, you used to other people doing work for you because you lazy and old and lazy, then if there's nobody there to do the work for you, you got to keep track of it. And it's much easier to just say, we can't have politicians on because it's a policy, than it is to actually have them on and keep track of who was on and thus who's eligible for equal time. And then there are even like caveats to that. Like, you can have people on. Again, if the whole policy is the same and laws ain't changed and all that kind of stuff, if you in the news, if you've done something newsworthy, I can have you on to talk about that newsworthy thing. And that doesn't fall into equal time restrictions. It was never very complex just some people needed to keep track of and be careful about. Okay, you can come in here and talk about this because this is a matter of public interest. But you can't be on here talking about vote for me. That's not that hard. Then so-and-so be like, well, but you had her on. Like she wasn't talking politics. What thing of public interest are you trying to talk about? Well, I just want to get on because she was on. It don't work like that. She was actually on talking about something. So it's when you hear that policy, that's not the full story. The basic gist of the full story is more than likely somebody just too lazy to actually do the work so that you can have those people on. Because again, think about it. If 700 can have her on and you got, 20-something people running for council, now they got to have all of them on and offer them the same amount of time Mika just got today. That's not reasonable. They're not going to do that. It's not going to happen. Jerica says, does Lincoln know the policy? He know the policy. I know he know the policy because the two of us have discussed the policy at length. So I know, I know that at some point he knew the policy. I know when you get older, you forget stuff sometimes. So maybe he's forgotten the policy. But again, it's much easier to just say, we can't have them on. And for all I know, Radio 1, they're the lazy ones. And they said, hey, look, we don't want to deal with the hassle of people asking for equal time. So what we going to do is just have nobody on. It's possible. Vernon says, WLW has more shows to spread out the time among candidates if needed. The Buzz only has the one show. Don't matter. Because again, you don't have to spread out the time if they're coming in to talk about matters of public interest. There is no equal time restriction or anything there. And then if you wanted to have people come on and talk, like somebody put up there, and I was actually going to mention that. I don't know if y'all remember when we used to do the Bad Boys of the Buzz. One of the things that we used to do was have candidates forums. And we would allot time. And I think at one point we did just what you're saying, because I think we had 4 mics. And so we might have 2 people in. And we basically made it a segment. Everybody gonna get the same amount of time. We offered, sent out letters, all of that kind of stuff. Said, hey, we are offering everybody this time who's running. It was a lot of candidates running. And if you want to come on, respond. And the people who responded, we had them come in. We had them come on the air. We did, 30 minutes or whatever with the candidates. So nobody could say, I wasn't offered equal time or I didn't get equal time. No, y'all all got the same amount of time. There's a way to do all of this stuff. There's a way to do all of this stuff. If you actually want to do it. Jericho says, is Radio 1 still black owned? I'm going to say technically no. And they don't even say that they're black owned anymore because they're publicly traded. They're publicly traded. What I hear when because every once in a while I hear some of the stingers and everything from, some of the stations. They no longer say black owned. They say black operated. Which I believe Katie, I don't know why, Kathy Hughes. She's still involved, to my knowledge, running the company. Her son, I think Alfred, I believe he's still involved. I think he's the CEO or something like that. Like they're still the higher up people, you know, CEO and COO and all of that kind of stuff. So I think they can still say it's black operated, but it's no longer black owned because it's publicly traded. I'd imagine if they can go through and figure out exactly who owns the stock and all of that kind of stuff, they could be like, we black owned, but yeah, Nate, if you listen, I think, was I listening to 100.3? And I think one of their top of the hour stingers IDs, one of their top of the hour IDs said, you know, whatever they are, something black operated radio station or something like that. Yeah. But all of that, it might have sounded like I was bashing people. I wasn't bashing people. You might perceive that I was bashing. Jimmy says, name the name, E-Man. What name are you talking about? What name do you want me to name? I said everybody's name. I didn't hold back anybody's name. I think, Blade, sometimes you slow on the uptake. Like you hear stuff, but you genuinely don't comprehend. Jimmy says, them people own the stock. You want me to name every stockholder at Radio One, a publicly traded company? You think that I have a list of every stockholder of Radio One? Blade, that's stupid. And y'all know I don't really use the word stupid, but come on, that's stupid. I don't know the name of every person who owns stock in Radio One. You tell me every person who owns a share of Apple stock. How stupid would that be for me to ask? That's just stupid. Come on, man, you better than that. You better than that. I hope you're better than that. I hope you are. All right. You're right, Brent. You're right. 20 minutes ago, I believe I said all hearts and minds are clear. But somebody brought up and I saw Mika's name, and I thought that was important to mention, just because I think people should be paying attention to this. Be paying attention to how she moves. Ipadathia said, give a good link in impersonation. I don't do impersonations. Well, all right, y'all. I think that's about it. I don't really have anything else. Blaze says that shirt is stupid. Okay. If you say so. That was a really well thought out comeback. I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. It was well thought out. It addressed the situation at hand. And it was a solution-oriented comeback. So I'm very proud of you for that comeback. That shirt is stupid. All right. Get out there and enjoy, or stay in there and enjoy the rest of this evening. As always, be the reason that somebody smiles today. And whatever happens, don't let the bad days win. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.